Motu is coming up turtles as Mattel drops wave 2 of their spring 2024 lineup, which includes deluxe big box retailer exclusives right now on Toy Habits Live. And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael.
And I'm the Toy Sorceress, and you're watching Toy Habits Live. How's it going, Michael?
I'm good. Weekend was good. It was a nice long weekend. Got Friday off, did a bunch of stuff around the house, and I had a really cool time on a toy hunt this morning and found some cool stuff, finally.
Oh, did you? That's so awesome. I actually also had Friday off, but spent the whole long weekend doing house stuff. Hung out with the Baroness of Toys yesterday for a little while, and we built some furniture and got some stuff unpacked.
That's always fun. I had fun chatting with you both.
Yeah, that was a fun time. Yeah. Yes, so we got some stuff accomplished, and then I spent my whole afternoon putting up like towel holders and stuff like that. And the last thing I had left was giving us a hard time, so I left it on the floor and walked away.
That's like, that's my way of doing it. It's like, if stuff's not going to agree with you, just leave it and come back to it later.
Yeah. Anyway, so happy to have a long weekend. We have an awesome turtle themed episode for you guys. And speaking of which, this cool thing arrived in the mail, and I will be reviewing it later on tonight. Look at this. Ooh, that looks Genghis Frog of the Ultimates collection from the latest wave of turtles. I don't even think it's really shipped out to hardly anybody. So we'll be doing a nice review on that. I'll start working on that later tonight after the stream.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's so cool when stuff hits your mailbox before anyone else, and you're like, ooh.
On a Sunday too, no less. I was like, wow, I got delivered on a Sunday. That was a nice treat.
I know, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so can't wait to dive in, and I can't wait to see what you got when we can take a look at that later on. Do you want to say hi to the crew in the chat?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you need me to run through this one, or do you got it? Oh, did you hear what I said? Sorry. Do you need me to run through this one?
I absolutely didn't. What was it?
Do you need me to run through the chat?
I think I'm having internet. Yeah, I absolutely need you to, because I think I'm having
internet. Okay, got it. Okay. All right, we have Bash Studios in the house, Sci-Fi Tsunami. We got Thomas, figuratively speaking, what is up? I think I saw you yesterday, my friend, which was nice. It was fun to hang out. Too Bad Dad. We got crew member Giraffe in the house. Ryan Cole, awesome crew member. We got Dave. We got Daniel. And we got King Panther. Happy Sunday, Toy Habits Nation. Yes, definitely. We got another Daniel. We have Lee. And we have Mr. Dan Diego, crew member, Payne's Toy Samples. What is up? It was so nice to see you last night. We got Dick Stevens. We got Leon Hart. Almost said Lionheart. What is up, Mr. Destro? We got Dinosaur Park and Such, which is awesome. And I think that is all that has commented in the chat, but we have a heck of a lot more people on. So
did we skip Thomas?
I don't know. I don't think so, but he says, "What is up, Toy Sorceress and Michael?" But yes.
Okay, we'll say hi to Thomas again and Giraffe. Here you
go. All right, we can. Also say hi to the crew. Yes, just want to give a special shout out to our crew. And if you feel like supporting the channel, head over to our Toy Habits YouTube channel on your desktop and click the join button to see how you can support the channel. Oh yes, you do have an early Christmas present coming tomorrow, so I'm good. That is awesome.
Cool. Can't wait to see what that is, Dan. You gotta fill me in. That's awesome. Right. So we had a ton of TMNT Turtles of Grayskull news drop this week. We dropped a little bit of news ourselves regarding that. I know that got published today, and you did some digging this morning, which was awesome, and found some information on the listings for those as well. Right.
Yes. Yeah. So it's fun when that stuff comes up. And actually the Walmart employees were actually super helpful. I went to like 4 different people, and everybody I went to was like, oh, sure, I can scan these up for you. It's like,
oh, that's so cool.
What dimension is this?
I know, right? A Dimension X.
Right.
That's a turtle reference. That's where.
Okay. I still need to get those. So I think I need to watch.
I know that's why the explanation.
What is up, Rob 2023, awesome crew member, and we got Stanley's Toy Channel in the house. Awesome crew member. What is up?
And I see Dick Stevens logged in. I think also we missed Justin Antoine Booth as well, and Daniel Quay is saying hello to you. He needs some ice cream. That's awesome.
And everybody needs ice cream.
Absolutely. My favorite is thrifty ice cream, and it's getting impossible to find because all the Rite Aids near me are closed. And there's one really cool market by my house that's like a block or 2 away. It's kind of like a neighborhood market, and that one's going to close eventually. And they do have thrifty ice cream, which is awesome. Daniel Heron, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Go Ninja, go. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. All right. I had to break into song on that one.
There you go.
That's awesome. And we also had Happy Accident and Cora jump in a little late here. So saying hi to both of you guys. Why don't we go ahead and dive in to this awesome turtle news? And if you want to catch up on all of it, head over to toyhabits.com. We've got all the latest information, and we will be talking about those Walmart scoops that Michael dug up this morning, and you can take a look at that as well. So Michael, why don't we dive into this and take a look at the Turtles of Grayskull lineup for spring 2024? And it is a doozy because we got some new figures dropped. And there is one particular figure missing from the bunch, which is a little bit odd, and they're probably saving them. So do you want to run through the new characters that they dropped? Just the names, and we'll go through the photos because I got them
let's see. The new ones that dropped are let's see. The second row there, Raphael, Mutated Ram Man, which is awesome. Shredder, Beastman looks freaking awesome. And we got Slacker and Mutated Mossman.
Incredible drops. Surprisingly, we have now 3 out of the 4 turtles. So we've got Leonardo, Donatello, and Raphael. And weirdly enough, Michelangelo is missing. So that tells us there has to be another wave after all of this. There you go. Because they would not leave this line without the 4 brothers, right? So there's got to be more figures coming, which is going to be super exciting and cool. And we can probably, guess with the chat who we think is going to be in that next wave 3, because we have to get Michelangelo. But let's dive in to what we know so far. So far, we did get Man at Arms with his awesome. We got official images, really great high-res images of these, and you can see him stripped down to his his underoos, if you want to call it that. Right. So here's all his really cool armor pieces, of course, samurai-inspired helmet, and that removable shell that he wears in the back that can be used as a shield. His chest armor that's got that extra little, molded in kind of faux hair in the back. Shoulder armor here with the turtle-inspired kind of, sculpt, and of course his knee and ankle armor with, again, another turtle-inspired sculpt on that. So he's looking really cool. We already know that he's been out. So we got to see some awesome official images. There's a great image of the back, so you can see how he wears that turtle shell. And I think this just pops into the back of his chest armor pretty easily with like a peg, which is awesome. And then there you can see him using it as a shield. And I'm just running through the ones that we know of kind of quickly because we've got a ton of other figures to talk about. So he looks great. And of course, we already know about Donatello as Man-at-Arms, looking so awesome with, again, he's got his little turtle-inspired parts of his armor as well. Really cool official images. And there you can see he too can remove his shell. It wears it on his back, and he can put his bow/mace back there. And use that sucker. So that's really awesome. And I love like how the turtles have a unique chest armor. We talked about their chest sculpt. We talked about that last time. So it's just not a Motu sculpt. It's its own kind of turtle inspired torso. And of course, here is Leonardo looking really cool. So this shows you that each of the turtles can remove their back shell and use it as a shield. And that's room for his sword to slide right into right there. You can see it, which is awesome. And of course, his two swords, if you put them together, you can make that into one power sword, which is going to be really awesome. And it kind of looks like the one they had in Masterverse, right? Which figure was that came with the two halves of the power sword? Was it King Grayskull?
King Grayskull, yeah.
King Grayskull, right? And then it turned into the power sword. So here's our first new turtle that we got released this week. So Raphael, break down Raphael for me and let me know what you think about him.
Oh my gosh, he's looking awesome. He's basically a mashup of Ram Man and Raphael, right? That's so cool. Yeah. I love that they're combining like the Motu characters and the turtle characters, but they're also making just regular Motu characters too, like Man-at-Arms, just turtleized, which is neat. But yeah, he's got huge chest armor. He's got a really cool helmet around his head to protect his melon, because we can't have Raphael injuring his head. And this amazing like oversized sai, and there's like a gauntlet sai, which looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really cool. And his helmet is removable, unlike your typical Ram Man, which is kind of like molded onto him. So you can have your classic looking Raphael figure right there. So you can see his awesome face sculpt. I think they did a great job. Again, all of the shells are removable, so you can use them as shields. What do you think of this? And take a look at his loincloth design. I mean, that is so nice.
Yeah, they're making a lot of new parts for these figures, which I really, really like, because it makes it really unique. I never thought I would actually like this line, but like the things that I'm seeing they're doing with all of the unique parts and just kind of special attention that they're paying to, I mean, of course, the loincloths, right? Because we have to have stuff to protect the jewels. It's like you just can't.
Family jewels have to be protected.
I know, right? Yeah, absolutely. It's funny when I see the like thigh armor and then the jewels are not protected. I was like, who thought of that design?
I know. And I was going to point something out, because I noticed you can see in this image how well Raphael is gripping his accessories, his side. He's got a really good grip on it, and it looks like he's holding that shield really well. Now, we've been reviewing the latest wave of cartoon collection figures. And these, of course, come with double gripping hands, but they grip their weapons really nicely. I mean, I think they've improved that. They've kind of narrowed down the tolerances so that the figures like hold their weapons well. Because like Man-at-Arms mace, for example, it's top heavy. And normally, like with the old figures, this would just kind of flop out of his hand, and he holds it really well. And of course, he's got this heavier stasis ray. I know that I'm laughing because you had trouble saying that in your review, but he's holding that quite well with just one hand, and and it's staying in there. So these new figures look like they've got really good grips on the accessories, and I'm really happy to see that. And just again, the sculpts of these are awesome. He's got his little turtle feet, kind of Motuized. And did you notice the little shell insignia right there on his belt buckle, which is,
oh my gosh, I didn't. That's
all
so
the
cool.
details, they're hiding in this. It's just, it's incredible. Yeah,
they're doing a fantastic job. And like all of the playability of the stuff with the shells coming off just adds a lot to it, because actually you can strip all these figures down and just make them turtles, right? I mean, they look a little bit Masters of the Universe size, but they could pass as turtles, right?
Oh, totally. I mean, if you take his chest armor and his loincloth off, he's a turtle.
Yeah.
There you go. You know, naked turtle, but he's a turtle, and I mean, he looks really great. You can put this huge, oversized Psy in his shell storage in the back right here, which is great. And his shell design looks really good too. And and he wears it kind of naturally. It doesn't look like, you know, it's just like popped onto him. So looking really great with that helmet on. And then, you know, the oversized Psy that like slips onto his hand is awesome. So he's got kind of like, you know, protective armor. So he's gonna go after you with his right because he's a righty. Obviously.
That's so cool.
Sorry, before we go on to the next one. So I don't know if you had any more thoughts on Raphael, but Ralphie is looking cute.
Oh, he's looking awesome. I'm just gonna scan the comments really quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, some interesting comments, Giraffe. They should do a Casey Jones with a Rio Blast gear just to make me rage even more that we don't have him in Origins yet. He's coming, and I think as Mattel gets their S together with just putting the Motu Origins line on Mattel Creations, I think this is their buffer while they're getting. It's like this is their squirrel of like, hey, look at what we're doing over here. Let's keep them entertained for a few months, and then maybe they'll hit us with some more Origin stuff coming on Mattel Creations.
Yeah, and again, you know, the ones that they had earmarked for that, and the ones that are left are much more intricate sculpts with action features. So it could be that they're taking a little longer to do, or you know, they just want to make sure that those are all engineered properly, and we'll be happy with them.
Yeah, Dick Stevens. I would think Skeletor is also in the next reveal. That's interesting because we haven't seen Skeletor yet. So
yeah,
hey, no,
there's going to be another wave. We talked about it, right? Because Mikey missing from the group. We can't have the brothers without all four of them. So
yeah, and of course, Mikey is Sci-Fi Tsunami's favorite, and they leave him out. And yes, I do think Mattel hates you. I'm just gonna say it, Sci-Fi Tsunami. So I'm sorry, but I think it's just looking that way.
Absolutely, you know, and oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's all right.
Asking, are they going to make Mikey in April? Of course they should.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting a lot of interesting pairings here. So Roboto is Metalhead. That's a good one. Ninja and Jitsu is his Foot Soldier 2-pack. Ooh. Ace Stratos, Mondo Lizardman, Baxter versus Buzza. Oh my gosh. Like,
yeah.
This Purse Solar, you should work for Mattel.
Absolutely. And we want to hear from you guys in the chat throughout this stream what you think, I guess, if we want to call it Wave 3 is going to be of the Turtles. Who's going to be joining Mikey in the lineup? We want to hear your thoughts because that is super exciting. Thomas says he can't wait to score these Turtles of Grayskull figures. I am, for one, really relieved because the initial images we saw were not flattering to him. Right. And these look incredible. So super happy. Want to give a big shout out to Rob 2023 crew member saying hello. How's the new home? It's coming together. The last room that I need to really work on is the toy room. It needs a ton of work, and I have a total absolute mess around me. So, but you know, I'm trying to get the rest of what's it called? Your necessities unpacked, and then the toys come last.
Yeah, you know, you gotta give some TLC to the room that you have the most fun in. So take your time.
It'll get there. Absolutely. Yeah, so this is super exciting. So why don't we keep going with these reveals? And the next one, I totally loved this version of Shredder. He looks really cool, and you know, the vintage Shredder figure was always kind of like hunched over and like in a weird pose, but the form factor for the 5.5-inch Motu figures kind of really like fit him. Yeah. So he looks really good in the scale. And I think, you know, it doesn't look odd at all for Shredder's design. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, you know, behind the mask. To me, you know, he's obviously Horde inspired, right? Because he's got the Horde crossbow here. And, you know, I guess this is kind of some kind of Horde-ish, you know, Dimension X type of logo on him with all the Shredder armor and this really cool kind of bat type axe. Although, you know, one side of the bat looks bigger than the other, but it's sort of an homage. You can kind of see the bat in there. But what's going on with his face here? Like, what do you think is happening because you can kind of see he's got red eyes. This isn't normal.
Yeah.
Shredder's face is a normal human under his mask, and usually his eyes look regular. So
yeah, I
you know,
I wonder if they're trying to change it a little bit just to kind
Mhm.
of maybe mix in some horde elements.
Yeah.
You know, maybe when he is mutating other characters, maybe he got some spilled on his face or something. I don't know.
Maybe he did, and the weird thing is, if you kind of look underneath there, does it look snake-like, like kind of scaly? His skin around
Yeah,
his eyes. I'm trying to see if
yeah,
there's any kind of hint to something there, even though you know the snake men are not part of the horde.
right.
Um, there's something there to it, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's interesting.
I like what they did here because I think it really differentiates it from the shredders that you've seen before, like in the normal TMNT line, right?
Mm-hmm. And if you compare him to Hordak's always had kind of like those red eyes, right? So that's where that comes from, because obviously you see the bones on the armor here, his chest armor, which is obviously an homage to Hordak's chest armor. So you know, it's this skin tone that's or the skin texture that's a little odd, but it's really cool what they did. And he's got kind of Hordak feet. Did you notice that as well?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he totally has yeah, he does have Hordak's feet. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is awesome. Like there's so many little details, and I'm glad that we came across the high res images because we wouldn't
Yeah.
have been able to see that.
Yeah.
And the
And you
axe
notice
looks
the
really
back, right?
hmm
There's good, you
Yeah.
know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like yes, the horde crossbow we've seen before, but yeah,
Mhm.
the axe is looking cool, and the whole presentation of Shredder looks
Yeah.
awesome. And I think somebody had a comment asking about what do they think his cape is made of. It looks plastic, I think, like
Plastic.
King Randor's, right?
Yeah. It's absolutely plastic, and it looks like it may be connected to his chest armor because he doesn't have any little collar piece holding it on. Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and there's a little bit more detail right
Oh
here.
yeah.
You know, it's got some purple on it. I don't know if there's a back. And what's really neat is they've molded in some cloth like texture to it. This is
Yes.
obviously plastic, but you can see
Yes.
that. You know, it does look like cloth, but it's not, which is cool because now it holds its shape. It gives it a little bit of that, you know, that wavy look to it because it is plastic. But no, that's looking really cool.
Yeah, he's
Love that.
looking great. And yeah, I hope they do a similar design with Skeletor, because you got to have like really
Uh-huh.
cool baddies. So I guess is if if Shredder is Hordak, what the heck is
Mhm.
Skeletor going to be?
Well, it's not Crang because we already
No.
have Crang. And I'm trying to think of like main bad dudes, but you know, and the thing is, you know, we've got Bebop and Rocksteady, which are obviously some main bad guys that are missing, but they're not a Skeletor level. They're not a leader. They're always,
Yeah,
you know, they're his minions. So
the grunts.
those wouldn't make sense. And I'm trying to think of another TMNT character who would come to like that level of hierarchy, I guess, if that makes sense, to
No,
be
it does. Yeah,
Skeletor.
I
And
mean, you got to have
yeah,
your soldiers in line with their generals and leaders, and totally
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Call it.
So maybe they'll do a mutated Skeletor where he's got maybe
Oh,
Shredder type armor on him or something like that, and keep
I am.
most of his
I love
elements.
all the mutated stuff that they're doing. Like, just make more of that.
Yeah,
So cool.
yeah. It's really cool, and we'll talk about. There's one that's a little bit questionable as to what is the proper one, but this is a really nice view of, you know, that the Hordak feet. You can really see it there,
Yeah.
and you know, I love the splayed out hand and kind of like his hunched over design. It totally an homage to the vintage Shredder figure. If you see the pose that he's typically in, it
Oh,
really
that's
reminds me of that. So that's great.
awesome. I'm learning. It's
The
going to
next
take me a
one.
bit, but I'm learning.
Oh yeah, you'll absolutely get there, and you can always get the classic retro releases. You know, those are really
Uh-oh.
inexpensive, and it'll get you all caught
Okay.
up,
Oh
which is
boy.
awesome. So I know, right? So the next one we have here is
Rabbit hole.
Beastman. What do you think about Beastman, Michael?
Oh my gosh, a Beastman I think is one of my favorite designs. I think especially because of that amazing headdress or samurai mask or whatever the heck that is, that looks unreal.
Oh my god, check out the detail on this thing. It's incredible. Like,
Like,
even down to, I don't know if that's kind of like a, what's that little, like bug, I forget what they call it, type of design. But that looks really cool. And then of course
yeah,
you got the samurai teeth in there, which is Beastman's mouth, because you can kind of see his fangs.
yeah.
See that? In like a samurai style, which is awesome. And then I don't know if that's sort of like a little bit of a dragon motif in there, which is across
It
there.
looks like it. Yeah, I mean, the samurais put on a bunch of things on their mask, and just, I guess, to freak people out or make them, really, really scary looking when they're in battle. So yeah, I love the things that they're doing, because I guess if you look at what the Hothead figure, it kind of looks like this is a blend of Hothead and Beastman, right?
Yeah, which is, it's really awesome. Of course, they use the typical Beastman armor with a little bit of, kind of matching paint on his crest there. Of course, turtle inspired shoulder armor, which is awesome because you can see all the little turtle shells molded into there, and a really incredible samurai skirt, which looks great. And then, a new take on his whip. Like, what'd you think about that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it's cool. I like the whip that they did for his CGI version, and so that kind of
Very
reminds
similar.
me of that. And the shield too is
Shield's
unreal.
incredible.
But before we go into that, just want to welcome new crew member Robert Monty to the crew. Very happy to have you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And then we have another one back to back. Justin, thank you so much for joining the crew. You are in good company, my friend. So really appreciate it.
That's awesome. Welcome to you both. We have the best crew out there. No, I'm not biased or anything, but it's what happens to use the best crew. Welcome. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. And we found something that Sci-Fi Tsunami actually likes, which is awesome.
Yay.
So I think he said he would army build this one because he needs it.
Catch up. Yeah, let's go back through some of these comments to catch up.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, Beastman is looking awesome. Jesus, like the shield, and I mean, all of these new parts that they're making, like, really tells me that they're not skimping on this and kind of wading into the line. They're like, let's go full on and let's do this right. And by the pack out, I definitely thought Beastman could have been a good candidate for a deluxe figure, but they're not making him a deluxe figure, which is really nice.
Standard release. And here you can see, like, look at his little eyes peeking out of there. He looks so good. And the weird thing, Michael, I noticed this before. If you take a look at his shield, the shell, the turtle shell, this still looks like a turtle shell here. You don't see that face on it, but I don't see anywhere where he can grip this on this side.
No.
So is this
that's
change
weird
in design?
I think so. Yeah, I think we've seen that before with a few things.
Yeah.
Like I remember what movie Evil Lynn, they had like a regular shoot, what the heck is that piece?
The cosmic key.
Yes, the cosmic key, but now it's like a light blue one. So
exactly, they changed the color, but this is a huge upgrade, right? Rather than just reusing that same turtle shell, it's a massive like kabuki mask type, thing sculpted onto it, which is really awesome because this is plain. I mean, it's not plain, but it's like the turtle shell. He obviously has a hand grip on the other side. So they turned him up a couple notches, and he looks incredible. So there you can see him on his backside, and he doesn't have anywhere to clip that shell onto him. That's not part of his design. So I'm thinking that's why they did the mask instead, to make it look much more just like a shield.
Totally. Yes. Rob, no, that is not the cartoon body that they're using. They're just basically reusing the Motu Origins buck that they've used before they transitioned over to the cartoon collection. So.
Yeah, and to me, he looks a little bit darker orange, like more red.
I was just about to say, yeah, he does look a little darker, and I think his chest armor too looks a little darker. That could be just the way that they took the pictures, but I guess if you strip them all down, you get your beast, you get a 2-for-1, right? You get your Beastman and you get your Turtles inspired
Yeah.
Beastman. That's
Yeah,
so
he
freaking
looks a
cool.
little more orange here, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. What are they doing?
I don't know, because that's not the only running change that we're going to talk about,
No.
because
Yeah,
again,
and who
this
knows if these
is
are changes, right? It's like, yeah, who knows until these get revealed. And I hope that Roy and Fetch, they start releasing some more of the card art too, so we can actually see. I would love to see the deluxe figures too. So.
Oh my God, I know. I can't wait to see what the big massive card looks like. And
Ian,
it's odd because
out of
these
spray
are
tan.
like official images, but he's got this other turtle shell, and I don't know. Maybe this is the more updated one, and they VE'd that out of it. Like, let's hope not, because
No, I like that other one.
I do too. The Kabuki mask
Yeah.
shield is awesome. Sorry that we'll get to Ram Man in a minute, but he's looking really cool.
Yeah, he's awesome. Wish they'd use a different color for him, Dan Diego. Like, what color would you want? Like yellow or teal? I don't know. Or is he talking about the weapons? I don't know.
I think he looks great. I think
Yeah.
The orange and the kind of tealy blue with the gold look absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't change anything about it.
No, totally. And let's see, two-handed axe. I think my comments are not, or they're a little bit delayed. Could be used on a new Jitsu. It's funny, like this. I think this would have been a slam dunk for Jitsu, but I'm glad that they used Beastman, because it's something that you would never have thought. And like getting a look at that card art tease, I hoped he would come out really similarly to this. And I was wondering how they were going to handle the mask and all of his armor, and he came out great.
He did. He really did. And I like that they're grabbing classic MOTU characters and obviously TMNT characters and mixing them up. Because, we did get, there's mutated MOTU characters in there, but then there's kind of regular ones. Because like Man at Arms, even though he was updated, at least he's there. And I'm glad to get Beastman, because that really helps tie in all of the MOTU crossover. And the next one is really interesting, on a mutated take, which with Samurai would be awesome. Sci-fi tsunami.
Yeah.
Freaking actual Ram Man. He's a Ram.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
I was so surprised. I was so surprised by this one with the translucent plastic, and it looks like not everything is translucent, because his feet or like anything below the knees doesn't look like that. But the ram, like the goatee, the red eyes, like they are doing such a good job with these mashups.
Yeah. And I'm thinking this is a mix of prototype images, maybe more official images, because as we run through these, he does have translucent feet, which you'll notice.
Oh, you're right.
But, I know, right? So
like, I
he looks really
everything
cool.
straight.
I know, and I noticed that like on the further images, but let's break down Ram Man first. He has a freaking ram head on his belt buckle, which is so cool, made of translucent plastic again, actual ram horns. And you know what this is an awesome homage to is the characters from TMNT, Bebop and Rocksteady, were an actual rhinoceros and boar that got mixed with, these two bad guys, these two stupid henchmen that were bumbling around helping. Shredder didn't know any better, and then Shredder turned into mutated characters, which were the animals that they were associated with. So you got like that animal mix of, the bad guys. So Ram Man here is an actual ram, is a huge homage to that, and I love that they did that. It's like a total nod to total TMNT stuff. So kudos to you, Mattel, because they did a great job. But here you can see, Michael, his feet are now translucent.
Oh, you're right.
Right? Look at that.
Yeah.
So he's running changes in this, like not his legs, but his feet. Yeah, because they're hairy, ram feet.
Yeah, I hope all the mutated versions of these figures come with translucent plastic. So that's all I have to say. Like do repaints all you want, but keep the mutated ones as translucent.
Yeah, and obviously this is a completely new sculpt. They're not reusing anything from the original Ram Man. They're taking homages from it, Obviously, the skirt is totally different because you can see it's got kind of a bigger pleats in it with these really awesome kind of silver rivets in there. A take on what Ram Man's legs are supposed to look like with the green kind of what do you call it? Sort of Michelin Man legs
Right.
that he's
Yeah,
got,
I don't know what those are,
which is
but
really
yeah,
cool.
like
Yeah, totally. And obviously, brand new belt sculpt and way oversized shoulder armor and totally different heads. So the only thing they've reused here is his axes, which is fine.
Yeah, I think that double axe that was also packed with the Koldar figure too. Yeah, they've reused that part quite a bit. I love that they have a space for him to stow his weapons in there. So that's awesome. You know what I just thought of?
What?
If you strip this guy down with all the parts swappability, you could probably make a really amazing Ram Man figure, just kind of kit bashing it what you already have. Like that whole outfit getup is awesome.
Oh, totally. Just you can take the chest armor off, put it on. Well, you need kind of a chunky buck figure, right? Because Ram Man's is
or just swap the head and
swap the heads and the arms.
Yep, and the legs. Yeah, I'm really interested to see like how these parts come off too.
Yeah, so am I. That's like super cool. Like I can't wait to see that. And of course, we got some more images of Mouse Jaw here, which interestingly enough, as you broke the news to everybody this morning, will be a Target exclusive, right?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, the unfortunately, it's we're in a don't shoot the messenger moment, but yes, Mouse Jaw is a Target exclusive, and out of Target and Walmart, I think Target handles stuff a little better. They're not as bad as Walmart, although they do sometimes cancel things. But it's so funny. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I forget who, or like just going back, and it's like they had a great opportunity to call this dude Mousetrap.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, because that's actually a really great name because it's a mix of Trapjaw and Mouser. But they took the melding of the two like all the way. At first, I thought that the arm was simply a reuse of because it's got kind of I'm trying to find the other view. It's got kind of that larger kind of gear look to it that the new cartoon collection was used. So I'm like, oh, okay, they used that one. But if you look back at the other images here, it's got like a Mouser jaw.
Oh yeah,
right here, the mouth like sculpted into it too. They left like no detail unturned, so they didn't totally reuse that whole thing. They did tweak some of the stuff on his arm design.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I love that they're making all these new parts, and they're making them so unique. And it's like even Trapjaw's helmet looks like a Mouser. It's so cool.
He
It's
does.
like
It looks like he's got a Mouser for a head. And did you notice his instead of his regular skull and crossbones, he's got a turtle shell in the middle there of his belt?
That's crazy. That's awesome.
And Mouser feet.
Yeah, it's a total mashup, and it's so interesting because I never thought that they would pair like a Mouser with anyone, and they did a great job. Like whoever is in their creative department is doing a bang up job.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, so obviously, Trapjaw always has his different like arm attachments, and you connect them to his belt. It's funny, when you look at this first image here, you're like, well, why are the little belt hoops that is usually a hoop? Why are they sticking out from the side like this? Well, what they did was another homage to the Mouser because they put his feet like little feet sticking off the side.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's like the playability and displayability of these figures are off the charts. It's like they're really sparing like no expense and just making these figures like they should. And I wonder if it's the two companies coming together and like pooling resources that they're able to do this.
Yeah, I absolutely think so. And it's like the brain trust, right, of both Playmates and Mattel coming together to make these really awesome characters. Love that you could connect the Mouser as one of his arm attachments. So,
cool.
Then he's got this cool blast effect coming out of his mouth. I mean, that's awesome. And then he's got a pet when he's not using him. And you also get his standard like little saw blade accessory.
Those are Robotos, actually.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. It is
And
Robotos.
so when I saw that, I was like, that's an interesting thing to do. It's like they're merging like robot, like it's all interchangeable, right? It's like you just plug it in. And yeah, so we see like Roboto's double axe, and then he was also, I think in another picture, he had that double blaster too, which is cool.
You're right.
So I guess for a deluxe figure, he's gonna have a huge pack out then. So he's
totally.
got Roboto parts, he's got new Mouser parts, and his other things that make him mouse jaws. So cool.
Yeah, and you can see here, like, do you see a little saw tooth design right here on his head? So obviously this is articulated and it can pull down because that's kind of pulled apart. It is green plastic. I mean, I'm glad they didn't paint it weird color, but maybe black or something would have been nice to fill that in with and make a little bit more sense because it's the same green plastic.
And it's like, now that you point that out, I'm like, duh, of course he has an articulated jaw because he's trap jaw.
He's supposed to. He's trap jaw, so he should. It's just they really should have took the time to paint that black, though. Just my opinion. But here he has a different arm. Did you see?
Oh my gosh, you're right. That's nuts.
He has like a cybernetic arm instead of his regular trap jaw arm.
I wonder if they're holding something back. Are they going to pack a different head sculpt in here to kind of pay homage to the Cronus character where Trapjaw, stemmed from? That'd be interesting.
It might be. I mean, you can see that's like a robotic hand and then a very robotic looking arm. It's not humanoid, but he's got extra what's it called when they've got like the replacement limbs. So that's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Like, I've looked at these pictures a million times and totally did not notice that he had a robotic arm. And I was like, wow, that's so cool.
I know, isn't that? I know, I keep seeing new stuff every time I look at it too. And then, my God, what did they do to Mossman here? I don't know if you're a fan of this. You might be. Totally different take on Mossman, though. He's mutated. I get it. He's translucent, so people might like that. So many things to talk about here. I don't even know where to start, but Michael, I'll let you dive in first because there's like so much going on with Mossman.
There's a lot going on with Mossman. So we know that Mossman will be, unfortunately, a Walmart exclusive. So he is a deluxe figure in Wave 2, and his pack out looks amazing. And I don't think they're showing everything here. And if they are, that's awesome. But it looks like Mossman like meets Little Shop of Horrors. It's crazy.
Totally. And it's I know, and it's kind of like got the Gorgon feet from the
Demigorgon, yeah.
The Demigorgon feet, and kind of a little bit of a homage, the Venus flytrap type flower here, but it looks like he's been taken over by Mother Nature or weeds, or something like that, because they're growing out of his back. His armor is sort of like these weeds that are naturally growing around him. And he's got totally new hands. Did you notice his hands?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember if he's also using maybe the Demigorgon arms too, because those hands look. Those hands look.
Did the Demigorgon have these hands?
I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up really quickly and see. But But we can take this is Feed Me Seymour, Little Shop of Horrors right here.
I know. So this thing is like, I guess, either attached to his head or in lieu of his head. It's hard to see if you just like pop that into his neck joint. It is Mossman on steroids. I don't know that I'm a fan of this, and I'm kind of relieved that it's a Walmart exclusive because I don't think this will give me nightmares. Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to find him. So people might like it and think it's really cool. I just, it's not my cup of tea, but it's an awesome design. It's just not something for me. And Mossman's face is totally different.
Oh, yeah.
This is an all new sculpt.
Yeah, it's an all new sculpt. And I love the purples and greens and reds. Like, the color palette is amazing, but we need the backstory to figure out what the heck is going on with Mossman, because he was like such a gentile creature in the Motu universe, and now he just looks like he just wants to rip somebody apart.
Absolutely. He has a little bit of a wolf man thing going on there, right? In his face.
Oh, yeah, he does. Let's see. Those yeah, those do look like the Demigorgon hands.
Gordon's hands,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. So
Do
actually
you want to share that view?
he's using his whole oh, here, let me
Yeah, go for
yeah,
it. So his whole body.
Let me open up the image in a new tab and let's see. Let me share that and we'll get this. Okay. Yeah.
You're right.
So
You're right.
he's actually using a lot more. He's using I think the legs, like the whole legs and the whole arms. And he's
I think
probably
it's his
using most
whole
of the body
except for the
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. So it's like, wow, they were really fast on reusing this part. And I mean, kudos to Mattel for trying to figure out a different way to use that buck. So
yeah,
that's what the Masters universe was built on. Parts reuse.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's a mix of like Stratos, his body, because he's got the kind of the furry arms and legs. But they changed the bottom of his feet, they changed his hands, and then popped on some new heads. And way to go to make those bucks stretch a while. And you can see here, like, this is incredible. So he's got these kind of like big, ginormous, like translucent weed effects. And it looks like these purple appendages are semi-translucent too.
Yeah.
Teal Floss Man.
So funny.
It's like Michael J. Fox meets Moss Man.
I know, it's so funny because I like when I look at this figure, it doesn't scream Moss Man to me. And so it's like, yes, he's mutated Moss Man, but maybe that's why. But yeah, I think they did a good job just with whatever they're trying to communicate here. Like, I think we need Fetch and Roy to release that card art to see his story.
Oh, absolutely. And then you can see how these tentacles attach to his the back of his chest armor, which is really cool. But yeah, he's an incredible looking figure, amazing sculpt. Would totally give me nightmares, so not my cup of tea. And I'm relieved again that this one's going to Walmart and not Target. But some people really love him. And the next one is really cool though. Now that I flashed him on the screen, and I think this was the only image that we have right now. But this is Slacker. So a cross between Slash and Faker, and there's so much to go into in the detail here. Do you want to break it down, Michael, or I could do it?
No, they yeah, it's funny because there's so many elements of Faker in here, and then also just like with Slash's kooky expression. I love that there's, if you zoom in, there's like pizza wheels where like Faker's
so of course Faker has that little computer console panel or whatever beneath his chest armor, right? So they took that idea and they made him slices of pizza, like 2 pizza pies instead of Faker's armor, and they have it peeking out here because of course it's Slash and his chest armor is all Slash.
I love that. Yeah, and I think Dave made this comment really early on in the stream, and I saved it. It was like, "Best by the power of Grayshell, I have the pizza." I love it.
Who wants pizza for dinner?
I know, right? That's awesome.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And then, he's got his Motu booties on, but still with little 2 appendages for feet. So that is a really new design. That's really awesome. He's got much bigger kind of double-sized wrist armor on, with the little studs on it, which is awesome. And this huge turtle shell with spikes going around it.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
Is really cool. I know.
Yeah, it's funny because they blended elements of all the Fakers, like Leo Faker. They have the regular Faker, so the kind of pink and purple, and the eyes and the oranges, and those weapons are super cool.
Oh my god, I know. They're incredible with all these, spiked. I don't know. It's kind of a cross between like a Psy and like, I don't know, but it's really cool.
Yeah, looks like he can do a lot of damage, and he's also a deluxe figure, and this one is landing at Target, if I am not mistaken, because Crang
is awesome.
is at Walmart. So yeah, this is the only picture we have, and I really want to see what else he comes packed with, because this to me is not enough for a deluxe figure, so he's got to come with more, right?
He absolutely has to come with more. And I can't wait to see. I'm sure you can take his chest armor off I want to see what that pizza wheel computer console looks like underneath.
Oh, totally.
And the next one I wanted to talk about, because we were talking about the deluxe figures and the translucency. Well, Michael, you dug up and you got this other image of mutated He-Man, but he's just purple. He's not translucent purple, right? And his face sculpt looks different. Now, we were wondering which one holds, and I have a theory, because the translucent one is pictured on the sealed card back.
Yeah.
And then the official images, sorry, I opened that twice, show him translucent as well. So my guess is that this was a prototype image before they came out with the translucent one. And then they finally got, because he's also, if you notice, Michael, this is just a standard He-Man buck. It's not this bigger, beefier. You can see his arms are like way more oversized. His legs are bigger and his torso is much bigger. This is just a regular purple He-Man.
You're totally right. I totally like
these big things.
It's funny, again, looking at these pictures 1,000 times, it's like, yeah, he looks like really gangly and long armed. It's like he looks more like a gorilla when he's packed in. And I totally think you're right. I think this was a test shot. Like the hair color is different. And yeah, maybe this is their really cheapo way to be like, okay, here's the concept, and then let's make it. Oh my gosh, let's make it beautiful.
Let's make it beautiful and beefier, because they're like, He-Man's a big guy, so if he's mutated, he has to be even bigger than that. So that is my theory. I think this is the one that holds, and they wouldn't have gone through the trouble of making these beautiful action shots of him if this wasn't the one that they're going to produce. So I think it's safe to say that if we're questioning which He-Man rules, it would be this one.
Yes. Yes, the mutated. Yeah, this version again with the clear plastic, love it. And totally, yeah, you were spot on with pointing out like the gangly arms and like oversized arms from being mutated. And I love the little feet poking out of the shoes.
Oh my god, I know his toes are popping out of his shoe. That's hilarious.
So funny.
They left like no detail unturned. And then of course we have our Megator Crang, which is awesome. And you can see here how Krang's body works. Again, kind of using that more standardized type of buck with the insert for Krang's brain that goes in the middle of it. And then once you do that, you get this awesome, massive Crang figure, which Krang's android body as Megator with, a little homage to he's got just like a little tiny thing of hair. Because Crang was always like bald, like he never had hair. They probably said, okay, well, if we're trying to make this Megator, we can't give him the big long hairdo, so let's just give him a little poof on the top.
I like it. He's got a little man bun going on, right?
He does have a man bun, and this little door like pops open, which is awesome. He's got a skull on his chest, which is really neat.
Yes.
They did a really bang up job with this guy, and he is going to be a Target exclusive, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he's ending up at Walmart. Yeah, so yeah, Crang. That's okay. Crang.
Sorry, you're right. This was Walmart.
No, it's all good. It's Crang and who else is Crang and Mossman. So if you think like regular Flock Mossman from Motu is at Walmart, so yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, Crang will be a Walmart exclusive, unfortunately. And geez, I really hope that we don't have issues getting this figure. I think from what I found today, these figures will be popping up in the stores too. So at least there's that, right?
Yeah, I hope they're also available online, because and thank you to the collectors, who you are out there who helped me get Mossman. So I do have Mossman, but I still have not seen a Mossman at the standard Flock one, at any of my Walmarts to this day. And he's been out for months and months and months. So distribution is horrible. So it's kind of a bummer that this guy, which is super cool, is going to be going to Walmart. And again, with the other Motu Origins figures that, that we're going to be missing out on too. Those all new Snake Men, but he's looking cool. Take a look at this, Michael. His hand attachment changes because Krang's android body had different attachments for his arm. Sometimes he would get a little saw and all sorts of stuff. And so this is an homage to Megator's chained mace. How cool is that?
So right. I love that you could just pop his hand off and just plug that right in. So
awesome.
So cool.
That's awesome. And did you notice little like Crang brain, like the hands are sticking out from the
like,
he's like, yeah, that's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, the colors again work on this thing. It's like what a kind of a pinkish red color for you know, more of the accents on his boots and his hands and his cuffs and stuff like that. But a lot of kooky stuff going on here. The axe looks super cool too.
Yeah, and that's yet another attachment that goes on his hand. He pulls out an axe, which is really awesome. And you did this really great reconnaissance.
Oh geez.
And look at when wave 1 was going to be hitting. So we can go and dive into these. But were you able to get a release date? We know that they're going to be in store.
So I asked and they were looking for it, but there is no release date yet. But they rang up in on the PDAs. So I think in one of my Walmarts they don't have like a scan station like Target does, and so I went to I think 4 or 5 separate people and I was trying to get as much information as I could, but at least we confirmed the price and they're actually going to be at Walmart. So these are not scanning up on the website yet. These are only in the PDA databases at the moment.
But it is confirmed they will be there, and as soon as we get them information through the website, sometimes we can dig out these links. We will be getting that to you guys. We do have, that's really great, a copy of the UPC barcode and the item numbers, but we'll be doing our level best to dig those out, and it's so cool. So wave 1 again is Leonardo, Donatello, which is awesome. They're all going to be 1997. I love the little images you put next to your PDA. That's so cute.
Why not?
I know, that's awesome. You got Mutated He-Man over here, which is super, super cool. And again, Man at Arms. So this will be your standard releases for Wave 1. And then the deluxe figures for Wave 1 are going to be Crang and Mousejaw, right?
Oh, the deluxe figure for yes, I believe so.
Yeah, for Wave 1.
Yes.
That is what our source tells us.
Yes.
That's going to be part of Wave 1. So those other 2 deluxe figures, and that makes sense because you do got a Megator Crang back here, with on Man at Arms card back. So I love this. This is super cool. But yeah. That is incredible. And of course, Mutated Moss Fan will also be a Walmart exclusive. All of the information and images are here. And as soon as we dig up, additional listings, we will be putting them on there. But you can see, like, that's absolutely his peg for his hands, which is so cool that you can put it on either side. Little like articulated Crang right there with his arms that move. So I love, like, he's like, let me out on this little bar cell.
Oh my gosh, totally.
So awesome. So,
I really need to watch this cartoon, and I'm sure that my significant other is going to hate me for doing that, but I need to.
Oh, they're so good. You got to watch the classic 80s cartoons. They're so good.
Okay, I will. I think they're all on. I think they're probably mostly on YouTube or something, But man, we haven't even talked about vehicles. It's from a comment from Solar, guessing there will be a turtle van attack track if they're doing vehicles. That would be so freaking cool.
Oh my god, that would be so cool. Like, as like a pizza throwing van or something like that, kind of attack track thing. That'd be awesome.
Yes. And taking a small breaks for our sponsor. Just kidding. Very awesome crew member Justin letting know that G.I. Joe Classified Chuckles figures back in stock on Hasbro Pulse. So if you missed out, go get them. Awesome.
Head over there right now. There was some other incredible news. Speaking of, what a great segue, Michael, to G.I. Joe. We're just going to dive into this real quick because you broke some awesome news yesterday. I know, right? That was like really great timing because freaking Sergeant Slaughter and Leatherneck in a Transformers crossover. Triple T and Cup are coming to the line. So we're going to get freaking O-Ring, Sergeant Slaughter, and Leatherneck in this incredible crossover, which is an awesome homage to the original artwork that's on there, because you got Leatherneck writing in the back, and of course Sarge, piloting this. But tell us a little bit about this, Michael, because you broke this awesome news yesterday.
Yeah, this is interesting. So, like, if you want to go back to January of 2023, there was a rumor kicking around that there would be one of the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover vehicles and figures would be Sarge and the Triple T, and JT Prime over on the TFW 2005 boards. Of course, doing the Lord's work, right? He dug up a listing that said Sergeant Slaughter, Leatherneck, and Cup is basically the transformer inside of the Triple T, which is perfect because those, like, Cup was a small Autobot vehicle. He's in his Cybertronian form. I don't think he ever had, well, at least in the G1 cartoon, he kind of stayed in his Cybertronian form, which was like a little, like, kind of van kind of dealio without the van back. It was really weird. It's like an El Camino of Transformers.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's really cool that they're paying an homage to like the box art on Triple T, because Leatherneck is on there, which is awesome, because I so wanted Hasbro to kind of just redo all the O-Ring figures, and if this is what we have to do to get O-Ring figures, so be it. But
yeah, I know, right? Absolutely. And this is a really great version of Sarge. I actually don't own this version. I only have his mail away version with, the black pants with a little G.I. Joe logo on the side. I always wanted to get this one. This is a really cool ad, and we're getting a couple more O-Ring figures to our collection. So it's a win-win for everybody. I'm sure this thing will be probably priced at $99, just like the Thunder Machine was, because that came with 2 O-Ring figures. But, what can we do?
Yeah, I'm trying to. So Sarge has not had a single carded figure in the vintage line, because I'm trying to look up all of the versions of Sarge, and he usually he came with the Triple T, he came with the Warthog, and then that mail away figure, right, was just in a bag, right?
Yeah, it was just in a bag. So to get him, and I would assume that both Leatherneck and Sarge will be on their own card. So now I'm gonna have to buy 2 of these.
Nah, I know, it's so funny because I was just digging through, like, just the extra stuff that I have, and I came across an extra what was it, the Striker, and yeah, and it was like, it's funny because now I'm not opening those anymore, so I don't need to. I'm just keeping them on card. So
oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I wanted a minty fresh stalker, so I did buy 2 of those, and I think I don't remember if I sold off the extra Striker, because I also have the retro Striker. I'm like, I don't need it. But I always wanted to get Stalker on his card back, and a new O-Ring minty one just to play with. But Sarge is going to be a really cool one. I can't wait to get him. And it's hard to get a vintage version of Sarge in good condition and with his baton. It's always missing, because that's such a small accessory. It's never with him. So this is going to be like the quintessential version of Sergeant Slaughter. To have a brand new minty fresh O-Ring figure of him is really cool. And Leatherneck, he's really cool. I have a pretty nice version of him. He's pretty easy to get a good, vintage example of. It's not too hard to
yes, and totally have to plus in Ken from Toy Connections, breaking it down. And yes, he's exactly right. The 89 Marauders was technically a single carded version. So thank you. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, well, you're absolutely right. Ken is the guru. I'm not going to use that word, but he is the absolute genius when it comes to. I know. I'm sorry, Ken. When it comes to G.I. Joe, he is the absolute authority. He's the one I go to. Check out Ken's latest video. I think he put up the history of G.I. Joe 1986. Absolutely brilliant. I loved it. And because we were talking about Motu, I'm not sure if it's live yet, but he's got an amazing history of Masters of the Universe 1982 coming up as well. I got to preview that. And for all you Patreons out there of Toy Connections, he's got that available. That was a brilliant, brilliant history video. So if you have a chance, once Ken gets that up on his website, you got to watch it because they were stellar. Just awesome work, Ken.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, Studio Kenton, crew member. These Transforming Joe's vehicles are expensive, but I'm glad to have them. Yeah, it's yeah, I'm also glad that they're making them too. And again, if this is the only way that we can get O-ring figures, and I pray to the Lord that that Super 7 mothership funds, because it's not looking like it is. I would love for them to even make O-ring figures too.
I know. I wish they would. I think if they were able to get it at a slightly lower price point, they would have been able to sell some more of those. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm so super glad that if this is the only way that Hasbro can get us some O-ring figures and then pack it in with a freaking Transformer, just go ahead and do it. And we get a vehicle.
You know, it's the Transformers team that's probably pushing all this stuff. So.
Yeah, and thank you. It's like, love to get some new O-rings. But that opens the door for maybe a Night Raider, right? Because this was the multi version from Light Force.
So
oh my god.
Cool.
And dude, could you imagine if it came with Night Force Outback and who's that with you?
That would be Crazy Legs.
Crazy Legs. It is Crazy Legs. Thank you. He's down here. Yeah, that is awesome. That is awesome. So,
I would love that.
That would be super cool. And just going back to our front page, some more news that we broke this week. You did a really cool article here on the collector that is coming to the cartoon collection, and Kenzo Creations and Yoko both did some really cool customs.
Yeah, so we've featured a 3D like blueprint designer Yurko many a time, but this is the first time that I've actually seen a 3D print from his blueprint. So Kenzo did an amazing job, 3D printed this thing. I think what's cool, like adding the LEDs into the eyes makes it look really, really neat. And of course, this thing is massive. This thing is huge. So Mattel's version will probably be smaller, but I don't know what those, if either those are reaction figures or they don't look like mega figures, but they're the smaller figures. They're not the 5.5-inch figures. So maybe he's scaled some of these things down, but I love what he did with the heads-up display. Like they have man-at-arms.
Man-at-arms.
Like,
that's hilarious. Oh my god, that is really, really cute. I love it. Yeah, I don't know if these are maybe not articulated, maybe they're like 3D printed, but they're incredible. And he's got Panther sitting next to him. Like,
oh my gosh, I totally did not see that until now. Funny.
And they're all little like bone thrown like cockpit chairs. That's awesome.
That's so cool. Jeez, really cool. Kenzo makes some really amazing customs too. So he's Kenzo's Collections, and also he has his customizing account, Kenzo's Creations, and he has a YouTube channel. So check him out as well.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And of course, we did see the collector on Snake Mountain's package on the card on the package art flying around here on this side. If you missed it, so our sources tell us this is coming to the cartoon collection. So watch out. we'll see.
If you scroll down, I think it might be the last picture there. You could see the scale next to a person.
Oh my god, this
I
is
think
huge.
Yurko did that. No, there it is. This is how big this thing
is.
It's huge.
It's ginormous. And do you think this would be like a crowdfund type of project? Because it's pretty big.
I mean, if they did it that big, yes. Like I'm guessing the Mattel's version would be about 4x smaller than that, and maybe fit one person in there. But yes, Rob. Yes, we did cover a Transformer, and this is the only time that we are covering Transformers for the crossover. It's so funny.
Only because it comes with freaking O-ring figures, so that's excusable, right? That is awesome. And of course, you did an incredible Man-at-Arms and Skeletor YouTube reviews, and I did some still image reviews on the new cartoon collection figures. So check those out. No, they are.
They're back there. Yeah. Yeah, it's so cool to get these early releases because I was really excited for there's Skelly. We got a
Skelly is really neat. And you can see his little like, what's it called on his hood? Like just from the cartoon. Like it reminds me of like, when he's like running away, you see like the back end of that. So I mean like all the little details that they did to make this thing look really animated is great. Like super, super happy with how these came out.
And it's funny because mine oh, I think the
let me see yours.
Let me turn this off, but mine actually came with a factory error. So
yeah. Which you didn't notice until after the review was done, right?
No, like there's no black paint up his nose, which is fine. And you're like, oh, just paint him, and like I would never do that. So
I know.
Fine.
That's a bummer.
No,
oh my god,
it's all good. But I'm really loving how these cartoon collection pieces came out because I mean they're packed with some really cool stuff. I mean the Masks of Power, even like the Havoc staff too looks pretty much like the in the Filmation cartoon, so they're doing a great job with that.
It does, and I apologize. I did a comparison of the Super 7 version, which I can't dig out right now. Well, I have them actually right here. But the Super 7 3.5-inch version, I don't have its accessory available because the accessory bin is packed in a box somewhere. But his Havoc staff looks very, very similar to this one. And then, you can see he's got that similar face design and the, the little boop at the back of his head. Yeah. They did such an awesome job. It's like this figure, like, plussed up because you got all the awesome articulation and everything on it. So
I think
they did a fantastic job. Yeah, you can see they're both their little hood design and everything. But yeah, they did a wonderful job. It would have been nice if maybe they added a little bit of the black lines like on his teeth, like the Super 7 one has.
Oh yeah.
Just for a little bit more animated look. But he looks great. I think they did a really nice job. His figures are turning out fantastic. They absolutely are. So I don't know if you have some other news you wanted to share. I know there was a little tease on Red Shadow that Axel Jimenez posted, and
it's funny. He was just I was logging on to Instagram and he had just posted a picture and said, oh, need to take this shot for reference. And I was like, reference for who? Maybe Fetch, who might be illustrating it, maybe. But we already saw him on the Mossman box art, so I'm sure he's coming. And it's such a weird, like kooky werewolf kind of figure. And I'm puzzled by the name Red Shadow because there's really no red.
It's not red. But you should have called like Blue Shadow or like Gray Shadow or something else, right? He's just not red, so it's kind of an odd name. But the last one that you said looking out for reference, I'm still waiting for, Axel, because you did that with Hero and we still don't have him yet.
Oh, so right.
He was working on something with Hero.
That's cool.
I'm just playing, Axel. It's not your fault. I just really want Hero in the origins.
I've not seen the bear from the Four Horsemen, but I know that Legion Con was this weekend, so there's a bunch of stuff that were revealed. I need to check that out. Yeah,
there is some really cool stuff that came out, and new figures are starting to ship to collectors. Ripper started showing up, and also I know General Hawk also started showing up. There's a few people. I want to give a shout out to A Punk with Toys. He had some video reviews on those as well, which is awesome. Really great job. Like that's awesome that he got it. But how cool is it? And this is a shout out to this was SB Toys who posted these images of Ripper, and he looks incredible. But how cool is it to start to see the Dreadnoks filling out, right?
I mean, I've been waiting for this moment for a very long time.
I know, right? I got Buzzer. I didn't really get to look at him much. I don't even know where he's at right now. My room's a mess, but I can't get his dang sunglasses to stay on his face.
Oh.
They just keep popping off. I
It's
know.
like, what is them
So
with the
I hope
sunglasses? Because like the Baroness one had that issue too, right?
at least her hair helps like tuck it in, but
Yeah.
on the guys, there's like nothing to hold it there. I had to put like a rubber band
No.
on it. Just so
Yeah.
stupid.
I was actually I liked Ripper's face a little more than I did when I first saw him when they did I forget where they revealed this now, because I'm like looking at all this stuff and it's like all this stuff just like just broke like this past week and it feels like eons ago.
Yeah. I know. And I mean, look how ripped his arms are too. Like it's incredible. His little tattoos, and he has like crazy eyes. Like he's gonna come after you.
Oh, somebody did a really close-up picture of his eye, and there's a happy face in the actual iris.
Really?
And so yeah, I was like,
Wow.
I mean, the details on this thing are so amazing. I think
Oh yeah, you can kind of see
it's
it
in
in
his
there.
right eye.
Yeah, right there.
So cool.
That's incredible that they're able to get that kind of detail. Is he wearing a tongue ring?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I think he has a tongue ring on. Hold on, I'm gonna open this another web window so we can take a look.
That'd be awesome. While you're doing
Yeah,
that,
absolutely has
oh
a tongue
geez.
ring on. And
Oh
there's
my
the
gosh,
happy
he
face.
does. Yep.
Yeah.
So cool. I mean, geez, so cool. Like even so it's funny, like even looking at the sunglasses too, like it looks like they have a hard time staying on them.
Yep. Yep. Because it's just popping off his ear.
Yeah.
There's got to be a little bit of a better way. I think maybe if they had put like maybe little pegs or something behind, maybe behind the ears, something to kind of like sort of like peg them
Oh,
in.
that's a good idea.
Actually.
Yeah, because the one
Oh,
that they did with the retro cardback collection Baroness, if you take the sunglasses off, she looks really weird because she just has those
holes in her head.
empty pegs. But yes, Todd, we did order the HasLab Hiss, so I cannot wait for that to come. And this is great because it's holiday season, and when the Hiss is coming, we can, maybe spend some time on vacation unboxing it and just getting to love the new Hiss.
Yeah, absolutely. So big shout out and thank you to SB Toys for posting these awesome photos because we get to see how cool Ripper is. Can't wait to get him. But we only put orders on these, Michael, in September. The pre-orders, like late September. Can you believe people already have them in hand? Right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy.
Where they all came out in late September, and now we're already getting them. It was like, if you think back a year ago, we were waiting like over a year to get figures, and now they're just pumping them out. So way to go, Hasbro! I'm going to give you guys a big round of applause for getting these out so quickly.
Yeah, they're doing great. Actually, I think it's
holding on to them and then put them out for us before they're ready.
Yeah, it's one Canadian retailer. I think there's it's called the CMD store, and Dan Diego, who is an amazing crew member, turned me on to that. They are getting these figures really, really fast, and then basically that's where everybody's getting these. And I don't know when Hasbro is going to be shipping these ones out, but it's really cool to get to see these in-hand images.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Love that, and he's looking incredible. Can't wait to get mine in hand. So yeah, I'm gonna spend the rest of my afternoon cracking open. We've got Genghis Frog, which is super cool, and he looks. I didn't get to grab out. I gotta find his classic character. I may not be able to do a comparison because I don't know where he is right now. But this guy looks super cool. And Michael, I know you've got some TMNT coming your way. The ultimates are going to be awesome. You're going to totally love these because the sculpts are incredible. The quality of the figures are great, and they're just super colorful and so detailed. And an incredible homage to the classic Playmates versions, but like totally like kind of on crack. So they plus them up. So it's really like the ultimate version of the classic Playmates version of Genghis Frog, and I should have dug out his vintage figure because I do have it somewhere.
That's really awesome. And some is an understatement because I went a little hog wild with the Big Bad Toy Store
I was trying to keep that under wraps.
No, I mean, so they're coming tomorrow, I think, and I think I have to head the mailman off for FedEx who's delivering this. So another person in the household doesn't see them because, yeah. Anyway.
That's why I was trying to keep it in her wraps. But
You know?
if you were not aware, BBTS is having an incredible sale on a lot of Ultimates figures that are just like ridiculous prices. I paid full price for these. I got, I have Scratch, I have Ace Duck, I've got Sewer Samurai, which was a gift from the Baroness for me. Oh my God, Sewer Surfing Mike, which I absolutely love. Like I paid full price for all of these, and $19.25 a piece. That's just awesome.
And even the G.I. Joe Ultimates figures too. Like you can army build this bat no problem because it's not $50, it's $22.06 or no, $22.
Yeah, I might have to go back for some more stuff. I did order a few things on here, but there's more things besides TMNT. Of course, G.I. Joe Ultimates, and I was shocked to see that there's a bunch of Silverhawks on here too.
Yeah,
that I paid full price for. I had just recently, several months ago, picked up this Lion-O.
Oh no,
Bluegrass. You can get, there's some Simpsons on here.
I am collecting those Simpsons figures though, so select ones, not the whole line. But I was like, really, those are on sale too?
Oh my God, so many of them are on sale. Some of them are already sold out. This Deep Space Homer is really cool. I do have him, but my God, like I'm like kind of debating, maybe getting this Monstar because I have his non-transformed version. But
yeah, I pumped the brakes on the Silverhawks because of the cartoon versions that are coming out, like an homage to the vintage figures. So like they're all chromed out, so cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like on those, I'm gonna get the chrome versions. I actually really liked this version of Monstar, I think, over the other one. And I recently got Buzzsaw as well, and paid not quite full price, but very close to full price because I kind of liked the the yellow version better than the green one. But dude, like so many incredible deals. I mean, Snowman at Hook Mountain for $26.
Oh geez, that's a huge, really heavy figure, and
he's ginormous.
He's
if you don't know him, but he is a big boy. So
he's a big boy. And it's funny, like they have the sale going on, but if you scroll up to the top, they have their sale items. There's so many more things that you can find in that. Wow. It's basically a little tab underneath the E in Big Bad Toy Store.
Right here.
There it is. Yep. So all of the stuff that you'll see here is represented in the sale items, plus a heck of a lot more. And like I'm finding myself going through there because they have the Cobra Viper 3-pack on sale. If you scroll up, they have the Thunder Tank on sale, and like I'm waiting for that.
$3.99.
I know, it's like it's crazy.
Wow.
But Justin, crew member. To be fair, I went a little crazy with the Hasbro Pulse pre-orders. I have nearly $200 in classified figures showing it. Yeah, it's December 4th. It's
dude, oh my God, like Tomax is only $15.59. Of course, I already have them, but you get classified figures on here. There's all sorts of great stuff.
Yeah, there's Star Wars figures. There's the Masters figures that you can still find in the store. Buzz Off and Naked Stratos and Sorceress.
Oh my God. $6.65. Come on, poor Sorceress. Wow, that is incredible.
That's nuts. I mean, I really need to stop visiting this page and scrolling through because I'm like,
why just show me this, Michael? I didn't know this page existed. Hollywood can be better off not.
I'd rather spend other people's money than my own. So that was part of the reason.
The Electro Chargers 119.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Look at all these Thundercats on sale. I've got all of those. So
I love the armor. Oh my gosh, that's I think that she is one of my favorite characters in The Mandalorian.
Wow.
Oh, also a little fun fact. So Silver K and I are going to the SF Fan Expo on the 25th, and we are getting a photo with Mark Hamill. But
no way.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It's very expensive, but we shared the cost, so it's like, wow.
Oh my God, look at this freaking you can get the LJ and colorway toy variants of all of them.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
30%. So, I have all of these. Of course, I paid full price for them, but
yeah, this is crazy because it's like it's making me rethink pre-ordering some of these Super 7 Ultimates if they're going to be doing this.
I kind of stopped pre-ordering. Oh my god, Invisible Tiger. Actually, I think I picked him up. Now that I think about it, but
Oh yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
ask you like how this one is because I was thinking about getting him, and he's discount. He's exclusive to BBTS, so.
I know, and I haven't gotten him yet. So as soon as he arrives, I will let you know because I absolutely fell, and I have Jaga right next to me. I fell in love with this, Ghost Jaga. He looks so great. They did an awesome job of making him a translucent figure.
Oh,
So I'm like, I
so
guess I
good.
gotta pick up, Invisible Tiger because he's Tiger and he's awesome.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I have a funny story about that Jaga because like it was coming out and I was like, oh crud, I didn't pre-order him and I was like getting FOMO. And then I got a ship notification from Super 7 for Ghost Jaga that I apparently had forgotten that I'd ordered. It's happened before.
Pre-order amnesia, Michael.
Yeah.
It's sad that we're getting to the point where we don't even remember what we bought.
Yeah. Let's see, Ryan. I know Super 7 charges more basically because they're a smaller outfit, but I think their stuff is overpriced, so it doesn't move. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are a boutique company, so definitely the prices are a lot more expensive. They're basically double kind of what you would pay for a standard figure, but they come with so much, and I think the quality, I mean, minus some of the QC issues with some of the figures, but I think overall they're great. And they just got an infusion of like $12 million from a private equity firm. So I think that speaks volumes for Super 7.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You are gonna totally love the TMNT figures when you get those. I mean, like the figure of Bebop was like figure of the year when he came out.
Oh wow.
And he's huge, he's big, he's chunky. The details on him are so super cool. Super impressed with TMNT Ultimates. You're really gonna like them. Scratch, which is so cool to like get that figure. He's like one of the holy grails of the vintage TMNT figures. So just to get a version of Scratch that you can actually like afford, and now that he's $20, like that's insane.
That's crazy. I didn't. So I ordered waves 1 through 6, but I actually did wave 6, just Scratch, Ace Duck, and one other one I forget. But I didn't order like the samurai looking.
Oh yeah.
Figure in there.
Yeah. Oh, did you get Leatherhead?
I did get Leatherhead. Yes.
You did. Okay. He's
really cool. I forget what wave he is in, but I think I ordered that whole wave that Leatherhead was in.
Again, another big chunky figure, but you're gonna love him.
There's a Super 7 store in San Francisco that I visit whenever I go into the office in San Francisco, and I was eyeing these amazing TMNT Super 7 figures, and I'm so glad I waited.
I know, because you're like, oh, should I dive in? And I'm like, you should go for it. And good thing you waited, because these are like some incredible deals.
Yeah, I do. It's so funny. My wife's like, you need to put together a Christmas list, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna scroll through here and be like, I want this one, this one, and
there you go.
They're marked off.
That is awesome. Ace Duck's really cool too. I think the only complaint I had about him is that his leather jacket was way too light. It should have been like a bomber jacket brown. That was the only thing about him. But he's a really, really cool figure.
Oh wow. Yeah, he comes with a lot of stuff.
He comes with a lot of stuff. Like he's got this really cool alternate head with a freaking cigar in his mouth. That's it's awesome. Hilarious because he's supposed to be like some tough, airplane flying duck. So
he comes with landing gear. That
that's kind of an homage to like the old sprues that the weapons used to come on. So they had this little weapons tree that all of them came on, and for his weapons tree, I guess they use landing gear for the sprue.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so you can cut it out and you can use the landing gear if you wanted to. Yep.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I can't wait to crack these things open. Yeah, I'm gonna make a mess because there's a lot. There's 2 huge boxes coming from BBTS tomorrow. So
wow, wow! I can't wait to see that big old mess.
Yeah, I do need to spend more time in this section because I'm like, I mean, it's like all the stuff: Golden Axe, Thor, Ragnarok, Marvel Legends figures. I mean, there's so many things in here.
There's way too much cool stuff. Oh my god, there's even Mezco figures in here, like the one-time collective things that's super cool.
Yes.
Those are pricey, so it's nice that they're on sale.
And yes, Dan, I will get you a list as well. I'm just really horrible at making lists for myself. So
damn, this is awesome.
Oh my gosh, the Ultimate Warrior too. Like there's so many things in here.
Wow. I'm trying to think. I don't remember if I have this version. He's pretty cool.
You might actually. I think you do. I think you do have that one.
I do. Yeah. I do have that one. I'm pretty sure I do.
You'll buy a second one.
I know it's sad when you can't remember what you do have and what you do.
Oh my gosh, there's an Andre the Giant figure up there from the Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. That is hilarious. Oh, look, they have the little Tantive for hallway.
That's a great set. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. I wish it was a little cheaper, and then I might get like 2 of them or something to display them. But maybe I'll wait till it goes on sale.
Together too. That's so cool. Yeah, I like the little dioramas that they're doing with the vintage collection.
Yeah, those are awesome because then you can also use them with your actual vintage figures, which is neat.
Mr. Neil Hunter Hyde is just making it onto the stream. What is up? We chatted last night. I went into the hot tub on Discord just to see who'd pop in there, and so Neil came on and Brennan came on too.
Nice. That is awesome.
It's fun.
Wow, these even boss fight figures. Good to see you, Neil. Big shout out. Oh my god. Wow. The pre-transformation.
Oh yeah, that is the one that I got from EE using our credit. So I'm good on that one.
You didn't feel bad. I know.
Well, Samurai Leo figure too. That's the one I skipped from that wave.
I got that one as a gift. He was pretty cool. I'm so curious to see your toy hauls. Besides my very cool Genghis frog that came, I got another package in the mail, which I can't wait to crack open because I finally have a seahorse for my Aquaman. So I gotta crack this bad boy open.
That's really cool.
Heavy. He's really heavy, and his tail is not attached to him in the box. It's behind him, so it's like way longer than this. So this is a big ass seahorse. For the first time, we're getting a seahorse for Aquaman.
That's really cool.
I know.
I wish I collected that stuff, but I don't, and it looks really cool. Like not.
I know,
again.
and I know, and
you're a good influence, but
I know I'm such a bad influence, but so there's some new Aquaman movie coming out. I wasn't like a big fan of that version of Aquaman, but I was able to find a slightly more classic looking version of Aquaman on BBTS. So I picked up this guy because he looks a little bit more classic, without all that extra armor and stuff on him. So this is going to be the Aquaman of choice.
Oh, nice.
That's going to be writing on here, and of course we got Black Manta that's hanging out.
It's just like sprawled out.
He's all sprawled out. So this is a really cool Black Manta that just came out. So these are gonna look great. Can't wait to pop them open, and still have nowhere to put them out yet. So I gotta buy shelves. It's not on buy shelves.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Dan, no, there was not a hot tub. Sometimes I will go into the hot tub just to see who pops on. So you never know. Just hang out on Discord all day long and see if we make an appearance. So, yeah, sometimes
he pops in there.
Like being in this room, it's very separated from my other office that I have, and so sometimes I'll just sit in here and I'm bored or just like tired of surfing the internet, so I'll just go on to Discord and see if there's anyone there.
Well, that's awesome. Super cool. Well, it's been a really awesome Sunday full of news. I know a lot of you are going to pop into GDL at 6, so we can probably start to wrap up. And just looking forward to all of these new TMNT Turtles of Grayskull figures. Because
oh my gosh, me too. Like I'm really excited about that, and I think what I'm going to do from now and probably until the New Year is just watch all of the old TMNT. Cartoons. I know that I've watched some of them as a kid, but I never collected the toys, and I just collected other stuff. And so it's actually really fun to get introduced to a line that came out in the 80s that I really want to get to know a lot better right now. So it's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I did the same thing with Silverhawks because I hadn't really watched the cartoon either, but I really loved the toys, I didn't get to collect them. And then now I'm going back and kind of filling in my collection, watching the cartoon series, and it's kind of fun to rediscover something you knew about, you knew that existed, but you didn't have a lot of information on, and to kind of dive in to new characters and everything. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, and Dan, we'll have to fix that because you should be on Discord. So
yeah, absolutely.
We will
We'll
definitely fix that.
for you, Dan. Awesome. Oh, Michael, before we go, do you want to share some of the hauls that you got? You said you found a couple cool things.
Oh shoot, you know what? I don't have them up here. They're down the stairs, but I did find basically if you go to the Walmarts now, they're starting to put out the WWE Superstar Series 7 figures. So they Series 6 and Series 7 is shared with Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan, but Series 7 has Captain Lou Albano and Big Van Vader in there. So I found it's funny because like my daughter I dropped her off at an IHOP this morning, and so I was waiting for her to be like done with her friends, eating breakfast and stuff like that. So I went around to the Walmarts and the Targets, but yeah, so I found that. But one really cool thing that I did open yesterday, and yes, this is a Transformers figure for those people that are like stunned or like, what is this and what is it doing on Toy Habits? But this figure Perceptor is near and dear to my heart, so I wanted just to collect this one because I remember my grandfather buying this one for me when I used to go visit the Jersey Shore every summer as a wee little lad. So I thought they did a really cool job with the like cell animation and like cell shading in some of the parts here. So it's I thought
he looks really great. Want to give a big shout out to the Baroness of Toys. Thank you, Baroness, for coming over and helping me try and get my house together and unpack. And we had to build an IKEA sofa back together again that we threw in the toy room, so we'll have somewhere to sit.
That's awesome. I want to say too, like talking to you both on the phone was a hoot. So that was a special treat for me this weekend was to talk to both of you.
That is awesome. I know she had a really great time too. Totally loved that. I'm just going back through some of the comments real quick.
Yeah. Yes, I was holding a Transformer, and I think by hook or by crook, Rob is gonna probably, I'm sure he's like laughing behind the scenes too, because he's like, we're gonna get Transformers on Toy Habits. Come on.
That is too cool. Ramman, Skill Crane says that Ramman was his favorite in the line. Usually have no affinity to the character. Beastman is a close second, but yeah, I think having him be really a mashup of an animal and like a mutated character was a really great homage to the line. So good job on that.
I think it's cool too. Like people have their affinities towards characters, and it's like you don't need to collect the whole line. If you like Ram Man, it's like just collect that one, right? Like I love that. Like you can kind of dive in if you want to go head first and be a completist, like I mostly am, or if you can pick and choose the stuff.
I know. I love Ryan Cole's comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Oh, you're good. They should do a crossover with Thundercats next. Totally. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, there's so many freaking cool things they could do.
And that form factor is like great for those characters, right? And I think it would go awesome with it. And Brennan Barnes brings up an awesome comment here. Brennan Barnes is, of course, one of our crew members. Good to see you in the chat. And he says, even if I'm not buying these, the partnership with TMNT can only help the Motu brand. And you're absolutely right, Brad.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit on Discord last night. He's like totally not into it, but I think he's right. If it helps the brand, if it helps to get the Origins line finished out on Mattel Creations, like so be it. If we have to wait a little bit longer, totally fine.
Yeah, and Giraffe brings up a good point. Was that a 2000X Mossman head? It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, we're thinking about the turtle part of it, but what else could they do for Origins with these parts, right? That's like a whole thing. And I'm sure that Allison Troy, who is another crew member, oh yes, Slime Pit Mossman.
There's Slime Pit He-Man on that. Right?
Yeah. That would be awesome. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. That would be so cool. Anyway, so this has been such a fun topic. We can't wait to get into it some more. do some more speculations. I really want to. Maybe we'll talk about and speculate on another episode, or we'll do an article on who we think Wave 3 may contain. Because we gotta have Mikey with his friends.
Ooh, we could have a SmackDown. Like I could pick some, you could pick some, and then we could put a poll and see who the community is moving
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, a big shout out to our friend Ken from Toy Connections. Really good to see you. And of course, check out those videos that I mentioned because they are super, super wonderful. Keep up the great work, Ken. And yeah, he's absolutely right. The baton by itself is super pricey. I don't know what it goes for, but it might be close to the cost of that whole crossover.
Yeah, it's a tiny thing that probably gets lost all the time. So yeah, probably right.
Absolutely.
And he would know.
Absolutely. Yeah, he would know.
Well, awesome. Right. Well, yeah, we love hanging out with everybody on the weekend, and yeah, I'm sure that everybody's going to be piling into GDL next. But we are so happy that you joined us and we got to share our love of these MOTU TMNT crossovers with everyone.
Absolutely, it's been so much fun. Can't wait to talk some more toys with you next weekend. And in the meantime, make sure to check out our website. We pretty much post stuff on there daily. So go to toyhabits.com, check out our Instagram at Toy Habits website, and also the Toy Sorceress, because I do post on both places. And of course, our community page on YouTube. Every time we put up a new article on our website, we do post on there too. So keep an eye out for it, because then you'll know when new news drops. But yeah, and if we get frisky, we might put something out in the middle of the week. And we were, Michael, going to drop some really cool news in the middle of this week, and then we got derailed by all this turtle news. So we had to put a pause on it. We had to pin a pin on it, but we do have some really awesome news that we've been kind of holding on to.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe we'll circle back to that for the next stream. So be there or be square.
Exactly. Keep an eye out. We got something really, really cool coming.
Yes. I know, it's so hard to sit on these things. It's like,
I know, right? I'm like, oh my God, I want to put it out. But anyway, we can't wait to see you guys next time. In the meantime, have a happy Sunday, and we will see you all when we see it.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.